What's up, YouTube? What's up? So, congratulations to the Florida Gators. They beat the Houston Cougars to win the chip in college. Clayton didn't really go off last night, but it was enough of the team. And they had to come back. Kind of like how Houston beat Duke is how Florida beat Houston. Um, this is such a trip because I remember when Florida won their back to back in the late '00s. You remember when Al Horford played there? Yeah, 61-year-old Al Horford. Well, feels like he's that age because as long as he's been in the NBA and he keeps getting better as he gets older, within his role with the Boston Celtics, you're like, wow. And Joakim knowing those guys, that seems like ancient. This was the Houston Cougars' first trip since the '80s, '83, '84. I remember five slam jam with Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon. And just like then, the Lorenzo Charles, the miraculous NC State, the game, how that ended and how they lost to Georgetown. They've always been close but can't finish. Always one of the most exciting teams to get there, but they just haven't been able to. And I think they're the team that's had the most Final Four appearances without winning the national championship. I really do. Calvin Simpson had them there, but they went cold down the stretch. This was a slugfest. This is probably one of the best college basketball games that I recall in a while where both teams were pretty evenly matched up, and there was a sense that these teams were the kind of teams that Duke aside that people may have forecast to probably winning. So it's kind of irony of irony. When you watch games like this, it's always like a play or two or something like that. But again, I just think about the Cougars and it's like, man, it's like you cats almost just are almost cursed, like y'all just can't finish up, seal the deal. Come close, but it just doesn't come out the way it's supposed to. And it's like, and I like Calvin Simpson a lot as a coach. I think he's really cool. But this is what makes the Final 64 March Madness so compelling. How it's gonna turn out, what's gonna be, who's gonna be holding it down at the end. That was really sad at the end. The cat caught the ball, but he couldn't. He came back down. Even though I'm like, well, I don't know. Is there just such thing as traveling? Because I watched the NBA, and you could come down and step forth and maybe get a shot, maybe frail into your defender. They may call a foul. I don't know. I ain't lying because I ain't know they still actually call traveling in the NBA. I mean, really, we see it all the time. Cats come down, be walking, but it was a tough way for Houston to lose that game. And Florida only led that game for like maybe a minute tops. But see, it's how you finish, not how you start. And if you stick around, it's what we call winning on points, not technical. It ain't pretty. It's just and actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm gonna take it back 40 years ago, because I can do that. My brain works that way. I remember Raleigh Massimano and Villanova upset Georgetown. That's back when we used to say upsets in college basketball. And it's a different style. I think that game was like 49-45. They beat them. They slowed, obviously no clock and stuff. But it was similar that a team just methodically beat you. Not, and that's what we were used to. It's what we used to call nickel and dime. They beat you and hitting the sweet spots, the technical spots, not because they were doing anything um incredible per se. It's just that they did enough to nudge and get enough to get what they had to get. And so this was just Florida just sticking it out, staying around. Because if you don't put a team out, you don't let them go to sleep and you let them fool around and stick around, they'll find a way to beat you. And this is what happened last night. So give respects to Florida. This is their third chip in the last 20 years. Houston, three finals appearance in the last 40 plus. Close but no cigar. And it's a trip too, because from Guy Lewis, them five slammer jamming, and now it's like, come on out. I mean, in all honesty, it's like, wow. You guys had a nice squad and a very good run. But Florida just was a little bit better though. Just enough to pull it out. So it was a good game. All right. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like it. That membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, and my peace.